Welcome back to BLOCKTV. This is Black Hats, where we often talk about the hacks, frauds, and scams happening in the cryptosphere. But what happens after the actual crimes are committed? What tools and capabilities do the cops have to actually chase down these black hatters? Well, at the beginning of crypto, we were promised a decentralized, trustless, and semi-anonymous way of spending your money. We are now a couple years in, and it seems that only some, if any, depending on the coin, of these promises still hold true. Part of something being done on the blockchain is that its transactions are public. It's an open ledger for everyone to see, including the cops. Now, it's true that the transactions themselves don't hold the name or identity of the parties involved, but they do represent a link in the chain that eventually started and ended somewhere. With current rules, most exchanges require IDs as part of KYC and AML, Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering rules, when onboarding or offboarding fiat crypto and back. That means that even though the actual transactions are ID-less, they can be tracked back or forward to an actual ID or person. Earlier this month, authorities tracked Bitcoin transactions to shut down the world's largest child pornography site called Welcome to Video and catch its organizers. Now, how did they exactly do this? Well, to catch the showrunner, John Woo-sun, authorities sent a small amount of Bitcoin to the site. They then followed the Bitcoin from wallet to wallet until it ended up in a wallet registered to Sun with his own personal phone number and one of his personal email addresses attached to that wallet. Now, authorities also arrested hundreds of visitors, including this guy on screen. Yep, this asshole who watches child pornography. This is another guy who runs the site. This is one of the visitors. Over hundreds of visitors were arrested. How did they manage to arrest all these visitors? Well, there are many companies offering crypto tracking services to governments. The one that the government used here was called CipherTrace. And according to CipherTrace, its software can track 87% of the global cryptocurrency transaction volume. And for those of you who aren't very good at the maths, that's a whole lot more than the actual amount of criminal volume going on, which means that not only are they tracking criminal volume, but they are also tracking regular average Joe's transactions as well. Now, how effective have governments been at stopping these criminals? From 2013 to 2018, global authorities have confiscated over 453,000 Bitcoin. That's about $4.2 billion at today's current value. One of the biggest chunks of that confiscated Bitcoin was from the first and largest of the darknet marketplaces called Silk Road. That's a screenshot of Silk Road right there. You could buy drugs, illegal drugs, weapons, malware, stolen IDs, even people. It was quite insane. Now, when authorities shut it down, they seized 144,000 Bitcoin just from the Silk Road alone, about $1.3 billion. And it's not just illegal marketplaces that get Bitcoin seized. In February 2019, US authorities tracked down 120,000 Bitcoin stolen from the Bitfinex exchange. And they actually managed to confiscate it and return the stolen coins to Bitfinex. And of course, the biggest crime ever to be investigated by tracking crypto transactions is the laundering of 530,000 Bitcoin stolen from the infamous Mt. Gox exchange. Now, it took authorities 3 years to finally track it to Alexander Vinnick. There he is right there. And it's not just stolen crypto that they track. The IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, demanded Coinbase give them information about its users and their wallets to track down tax evaders. In South Korea, even the trading itself is not allowed to be anonymous. It's actually illegal. All traders must have an account with a local bank, and trading platforms are prohibited from listing anonymous coins. Now, what are anonymous coins? They're privacy coins like Monero that even companies like CipherTrace cannot track. These are the last true ways to trade anonymously, except for using good old US dollar bills. Multiple governments have already warned of the potential dangers of truly anonymous cryptocurrencies. Now, one thing that criminals can do to avoid or obscure the tracking by authorities of even public coins like Bitcoin is using what's called a crypto mixer. This takes a bundle of various people's Bitcoins, mixes them all together, and then distributes back the mixed Bitcoin of equal value to the owners minus their fee. So this is the equivalent of, let's say we had 10 people, some of which are bank robbers. And they each put $100 into a giant mixer. Then, once that money's mixed up, $95 were handed back to everyone. And there's no way of telling which dollars were the stolen dollars and which were the legit dollars. This is basically crypto mixing in a nutshell. It should also be noted that laundering large amounts of money using crypto mixers, or using even crypto, isn't always so easy, as the mixers and exchanges don't always have the necessary liquidity or volume to launder crypto without raising red flags to authorities. So after hearing all of this, all right, it may sound like Bitcoin and crypto is dark money used by criminals to hide child porn, illegal dealings, and other nefarious activities from authorities. But the truth is, according to Chainalysis, less than 1% of all Bitcoin transactions are illegal. That means that 99 or more than 99% are just good old clean transactions. Now, in comparison, 90% of United States dollar bills hold traces of cocaine. You do the math. That was Black Hats. Stay informed, stay safe, and stay tuned at BLOCKTV.com.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.